This is Oliver here, Bounce World NOLA, and I have for you 3 purple dollies, 3 different brands, and we're going to do some comparison videos. First we got the Jolly Dolly from Mandeville, about 45 minutes from me. Rolls all from Georgia. One Trip Dolly, Shreveport, Louisiana. I got this dolly. They're all very new. This one I got in August of this year, so a couple months ago. August of 24. I just got this last week, so that's October of 24. The Jolly Dolly I actually got in June. So June, August, October of 24. All in purple, because that's my color. This was my 4th of July shirt, but usually we have purple. So let's do a video. All right, off the bat, we got the Jolly Dolly. Now, all in, this was about $4,500. This one and the rolls all are right around $4,500. The One Trip Dolly, I think he has it now at 37. It was 35 at one point. I think it's like 3,700. So, you know, similarly priced. The shipping will get you. So for me, that one being 45 minutes away, I paid no shipping. This one I paid like $400 in shipping. So I mean, if you're just closer to one, it might make sense to go get the one closer to you. And then Kate actually brought me this dolly, so I didn't pay shipping on that either. But let's look at the Jolly Dolly. So you can see from the side, man, they put these rear casters all in different spots. So this Jolly Dolly has the highest rear casters of any of them. And what that's gonna do, it looks like, you know, they're the highest. Rolls all is the second highest. One Trip's further down. What that's gonna do is, when you, but he has them set out pretty far too. They're the tallest, but they're also set out the most. I don't know if that's obvious from the angle, but they're set out the most. And what that's gonna do is, it has so much balance. When you use the 3 of these, the Jolly Dolly, it doesn't matter the weight. We had a 1,000-pound game. This one's 800. This game's 1,000 pounds. When we put them on there, the Jolly Dolly feels so stable, so stable. It's not gonna flip over with any weight on it. Also, these tires, these are sealed air. They look like rubber tires. I mean, like, they look like air tires, but they're not. They're solid foam tires. These are some kind of, these two are similar. I'm not really sure what they thought. I can't tell much of a difference. I will say that I think the Jolly Dolly ones are a little too big, because sometimes you see how that turns. If you turn both of them in the same direction, they will hit. Now, when you go over bumps, small bumps, the bigger tires do help, because these really tiny tires on the rolls all, they get stuck a lot. They get stuck. I mean, we've only had it for a week, but I've gotten stuck on those rear tires because they're so small. Like going over a little divot or a little hole in the ground or something, they get stuck. I think the One Trip Dolly has about the right size wheels to where they don't hit. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, they still will hit, but barely. The rolls-alls are extremely small. I mean, they're not even gonna come close. They're actually set out the most too. So if you look at it from the back, you can see that the rear wheels are almost parallel with the bottom ones. Whereas the Jolly Dolly, they're set in, you know, they're set in a little bit. Same thing with the One Trip. They're actually set in even more. And just from looking back here, you can kind of tell, stability-wise, because these are up higher and they're out more, it's very stable. These are out really wide, so they're stable. The One Trip is actually the least stable. Not that it's not stable, it is, but when you use all 3 of them and you have heavier games, I'd say anything over 500-600 pounds, you gotta really make sure that you're not hitting any kind of crazy bumps or going up the trailer at an angle. You're going straight, because if you go up at an angle or you don't have the weight of the game centered, so off to the side, this is more likely to flip over, just because those back wheels are tighter and lower. And you see how these are wider and higher. So when you have the game and the weight back, it's more stable. Same thing with this, with the Jolly Dolly. They're all charging right now, so I don't want to take them off and use them, but I will make a video of using them. They're about the same height. I think that, like, usable height-wise, the rolls all, I mean, you can see it looks a little bit taller. I noticed using all of them, when you put a game on it that's similar in height, the rolls all has more space to put the blower. Just a little bit, just a little bit. It's not that much more because they're about the same height. These are almost vertical. The Jolly Dolly and the Rolls-All are almost vertical. I think the Rolls-All is probably vertical. This is a slight slant back. The one trip Dolly, he's changed it a few times. This one is actually slanted a little bit. I think it's 15 degrees slant. And, I mean, it helps you tilt the gains back, sure. So they're about the same height, as far as that goes. Jolly Dolly came with 2 ratchet straps. One on either side. I mean, it's kind of overkill, but whatever. The Rolls-All has a big ratchet strap on this side. It's a lot higher. I mean, I don't really notice a difference. I don't think that matters where the height is. The one trip Dolly, he didn't include the ratchet strap, but you can buy ratchet straps, he said, for these E-Tracks. I haven't purchased one yet. I haven't needed it. We only use the ratchet strap really for, like, the really big games, so not that big of a deal. What else? The heights, the throttles. So let's go to the gears. So this one is a half crank. It's on right now. So you can see half turn here. There's no way to control it from the left side at all. He put a brake on this left side, a manual brake. Mine is broken already. So I think it's actually locked. That's something I was going to call him about, but he has a manual brake there instead of an electronic brake. So the Jolly Dolly and Rolls all have electronic braking. They brake as soon as you let go of the throttle. This one doesn't. He claimed that there's issues when you do that. That was his reasoning. So he put a manual brake here. But my manual brake's already broken. I've had it for 2 months. So I think it's kind of silly. Anyway, half turn throttle. It's okay. Not a big fan of it. As you can see, I mean, we beat these up, so it's whatever. But this black piece, I don't get it. It extends too far out. It gets caught. All the electronics are in here. This button's way too big. I'm going to replace it with a really small one. Oh, and then on the top, this is the forward reverse switch. So forward, and then you hit the throttle. And then reverse, you have to manually press that in reverse, then hit the throttle. So it's a 2-stage basically to, like, move it forward and back. This is very sensitive. This hits us. You can see it protrudes so much. It hits us all the time. These two, I'll switch to the Jolly Dolly first. This one, it protrudes a little bit and it will accidentally hit you sometimes, but it doesn't protrude that much. So it is more of a safety thing. So if you're going in reverse and it hits you, it will shut off. But it doesn't protrude so much that it's just hitting you all the time like that one is. And we've broken that button off a few times. Protrudes a little bit. Throttle. These two are going to have the same throttle. It's, you know, forward, reverse. You just go back, you go forward, go back, go forward. You know, and you could do it from the left or the right. To me, that's huge because I find myself sometimes, you know, with my left hand on it trying to turn and my right hand trying to turn. The one-trip Dolly, you know, one of the big drawbacks is that half crank is only on one side, so you can't just grab it from either side and go. I've also, you know, I had to super glue this on here because I've gotten this piece stuck to there. And when this is stuck to here and you turn the throttle, this is stuck and now the throttle's locked and you're going. Then you want to hit the button real quick. Anyway. Rolls-All, it doesn't protrude at all, so I don't even know how this is a safety thing. I feel like it's kind of pointless to even have it here because you're not going to, like, if you're going in reverse and it's hitting you, you're not going to hit this. So this is just like a on-off button more than a safety thing at all. I mean, whatever, it doesn't protrude. I feel like that's the best design for it. One downside I do see on this one compared to the Rolls-All, the throttles protrude a little bit too much, and I feel like at some point they might get hit and knocked off. Now, not from the unit, but from, you know, hitting the trailer or hitting a gate. Like you can see, we've already scraped this up pretty good. If we accidentally hit this, the throttle, we'll break it off and we can't use the dolly. Whereas the Rolls-All, they put 2 bars. So, I mean, it's, you know, the unit or whatever's on top won't slam into this. And then also from the top, like the top down, nothing's going to hit the throttle. I mean, it's not completely protected. Something could fall through here or come from the back, but it is a little bit more protected than the Jolly Dolly. Overall, these designs were thought through more. Not so much. All right. All these have internal chargers. I'm having an extension cord charging them all. I think these 2 are lithium batteries. This is 4 12-volt batteries in line. This is a 36-volt. So you can see the max is going to go. Let me plug it back in. The max on here. So he said anything over 38, you're good to go because it's a 36-volt. I think the max I've got it to at 100% is like 41. The rolls, oh, that's where the light is on that one too. So that one's there. You can see that. I kind of like that because you can see that from the back. You can see it from the front, the top. You can see that. These 2, well, this one, they put the screen on the top. So when you're walking, yeah, you can see the screen. But when I had it stood up just now, you can't see it. So I feel like this is okay. I wish it was down there, where it is on the Jolly Dolly. I think the placement's better on the Jolly Dolly. Same thing with one trip Dolly. He put the screen here. My screen's broken. It got rained on. So, I mean, you know, I think they're waterproof, or they should be waterproof. This literally just got rain on it and shorted out. So I have one ordered. I'll replace it. I like the placement of it because you can see it when it's standing up. You can see it when it's down. Placement's perfect, but it should be waterproof. That's silly. What was the other thing? Oh, the Rolls-All has folding rear casters. I used them one time last week. Again, it's not a deal breaker, I would say. I mean, you could get away with not having it. They do stick out, I mean, a good bit. So I haven't used it so much that I'm like, oh my gosh, I love this. But, you know, they're kind of cool. Not a deal killer to me. That doesn't really matter. But I will say, out of the 3, the easiest one to tilt a unit back is Jolly Dolly, because he put a step here and it's sticking out the back. So when you come here to the step, you got a handle. If you want to hit the gas to tilt it back, if not, you don't have to. You have a step here and you can put a ton of leverage. On these 2, you have to either step on this bar, which is lower and further in, or step here, which I find more effective, to stand up here, jump up, and pull back. One trip Dolly, there's really nowhere to stand because there's motors here, unless you're going to stand on the motor, which I guess you might have to, but otherwise there's really not anywhere to do it. Now, he did make this Dolly more slanted. It's a 15-degree angle. These are completely vertical, the first 2. That one's at an angle, so I mean, maybe. But this step is huge. I think the step is a really great feature. From down here, you can see the motors. Jolly Dolly has its own unique motor, but it's not covered, I guess the right word is. Whereas the Rolls-All, they did put this bar here, so if you bump into something, which, you know, you're going over a curb, you might bump into something. They do have a bar trying to protect the motor and the axle from breaking it. The one trip Dolly is completely exposed. I mean, it's just sitting out here. Not the best way to do that, in my opinion. At least that's tucked up underneath, kind of protected. How that one's, you know, pretty vertical in line. I think he has this pretty on here. on here pretty good. I mean, it's sticking up a little bit. I think you could hit this on some curbs for sure. That looks a little bit safer, going up a curb. This isn't sticking out too much, but this motor's sticking out so much in the back. I feel like that's not the best placement for this motor. The box on this one trip is massive. Massive box. This is a smaller box. This is a smaller box. I know how obvious it is from the video, but you can see like this is a little box, and you got this massive box over here. You can feel it. You can feel the weight distribution on this dolly. Is the center of gravity is higher than on these two. These two, the center of gravity is all the way at the bottom. I think it helps control them more. They don't feel as heavy. The one trip feels extremely heavy when you're standing the game up in the air. You know, you're trying to push the game up in the air. This one has so much more weight. The center of gravity is so much higher. It is very hard to stand that up. These two are a lot easier to stand up in the air. So, what else did I want to go over? The casters are all good. Besides the wheels, they spin fine. I think that, you know, obviously you can see this. They put a cap on there so dirt and water and bugs and dust don't get inside. These are exposed. I mean, you could say that you can just clean them, sure. But I mean, having the cap, it looks a little bit more professional. It looks more thought out. So, I mean, also, you know, weight-wise, the rolls all feels very light compared to the other two. That's a good thing when you're trying to move around. But when I'm moving this 1,000-pound unit, the rolls all moved it. I felt more stable on the Jolly Dolly. It controlled the weight more. So I think that the center of gravity is better on this, and the weight distribution because of this axle is a little bit better. A little bit. The Roll's not bad, but I think this is a little bit better. I think also this metal, you know, you got a folding bar there. The casters don't feel secure. These casters are not going anywhere. I mean, these are solid. I mean, he made intricate designs. It's fine, but he's got reinforced. This makes me nervous because it's just one bar here, one bar there. It's on a pin. So, I mean, I got it last week. We've moved Big Ball Jump, which is 1,000 pounds, twice with it. But again, it's the first week. It's not a year too old. I feel like over time, this is going to break. And that looks very stable compared to this. And I don't care if it folds. That's kind of silly. This is in between. It's one bar back and forth, but it's welded. It doesn't fold. So I feel like this is going to survive longer. I don't know, because a lot of people have Rolls and they say they're great. But not everybody moves 1,000-pound games or 800-pound games frequently. So we'll see. Let me get, one more thing, the bars. So Jolly Dolly has, besides the middle frame, it has these bars coming down the whole side on both sides, which, you know, is great because it hugs the game a little bit. The Rolls has the wheel guards, and then the top panels. So wheel guard, top panels, that's it. There's nothing on the sides. The one trip's kind of a mix. It's got the wheel guards, and then it has a small bar coming up, but not the whole way. Again, it's not the biggest deal breaker in the world, but the Jolly Dolly hugs the game because it wraps. It is literally like a semicircle. It's like a half circle almost. Now, the drawback to that, which the Rolls is better because it's completely flat. Flat wheel guards and flat up here. When you stack chairs and tables, the Jolly Dolly is hard because it is so curved. The flat chairs and tables don't stack very well. They stack perfectly on here. Again, these bars are curved, so you can order them flat though. You can order the one trip bars instead of angular. You can order them flat, which I would do if you're doing a lot of chairs and tables. Rolls fine. I don't know if there's an option on the Jolly Dolly to make them flat, but it is a problem with chairs and tables. But I didn't order a $4,500 dolly to move chairs and tables, you know. That's kind of silly. These are meant to move 1,000-pound inflatables. Let me get the tape measure and do the exact measurements because that's turned out to be a bigger deal breaker to me, is how wide each of these dollies are, because we're in an urban area, and I could go in the middle of a field and set up a big fair, but I could also go in a backyard, and the gate is 30 inches wide, and one of these dollies is 30 inches wide, which is amazing that it fits through the gates. It's gonna help us. This is my middle child, Penelope. She's gonna help me measure it. So let's go. Put it right on the edge of the tire, P. No, the bottom tire. The bottom tire. Put it right at the edge. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let go. Let go. Let me do it. All right. Right here. May not look level there, but that's where it is. Oh, there you go. Look at this. 30, under 33 inches. It's 32 and a half. All right. That's the Jolly Dolly. Let's move over.
Hold it.
Are you gonna hold it? Okay. Let's see this one right there. Wait, P. Let me see the camera. Come over here, P. All right. This is the Rosal. I got it right on the edge. Look at that. Under 31 inches. Incredible on the Rosal. No, wait. We got one more dolly to do. Okay, let's bind it up. Last is the one trip, and this is the thinnest dollies they make. All right, right here. All right. This one, again. Oh, you got it for your class? Okay. Oh, let me come in closer. I think I'm too far away. Right there. This one is over 33. So again, it might not make a big difference to you. Look, I'm trying to get this exact. It might be a little bit more. Right. Because I got it right there. It's over 33. So again, not a huge difference. However, the fact that the Rosal is basically 3 inches thinner than that one and 2 inches thinner than this, if you're trying to fit through tight gates, oh my gosh, that's incredible. That is a huge advantage. I think 32. I haven't gotten to many situations where the Jolly Dolly at 32 inches is a deal breaker. But I will say over 32, again, if you're not going to a lot of residential urban areas, it's fine. I mean, 33, under 34 inches is great. It's great. But I go through a lot of tight yards. I'll post some pictures maybe, with air conditioning units and gravel and crap everywhere, hot water heaters, who knows. 32, 30 inches, 33. I think that's, in my opinion, that's crazy. But what's also crazy is, like I said earlier, I feel the most stable on the Jolly Dolly. And then the Rosal's 2 inches less, and the Rosal's 3 inches less width, and yet this is the least stable of all them. So in my opinion, it's got to be these back casters. If you see how much lower they are and how separated the Rosal casters are compared to these, the stability in the back is just not as good. If I had to spend, I mean, again, you're saving about $1,000 buying this one compared to the other two. So you gotta figure out what you need the dolly for. I would say that first. You gotta figure out what you need the dolly for before you buy anything. But for me and my guys, I'm speaking for all the guys that have used, that's why I bought 3 different ones. I wanted them to use all 3, see which one they like the best, and then I'll probably sell the other ones and just buy more of those because I don't have time going back and forth. I just got this last week, so I'm going to do a few more weeks of testing on this one. But the other thing is, I can go pick this up from Mandeville. They're 45 minutes from me. Saving $400 on shipping is huge. They're about the same price. Saving that $400 is crazy. So I might end up going with this one anyway. But it is crazy this is 30 inches wide. I love that. I would, if you're going to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, it's hard for me to tell you to go buy this dolly. If this was $2,000, I'd say go buy this right now. Go buy 10 of them. The fact that it's 37, you know, maybe it's 35 on sale, sometimes 37, and these are 45. You're talking about $700-800 difference. To me, it's a clear winner that you got to go with one of these two Dollies. If this was cheaper, I'd say it's fine. These are way more thought out. The balance on them is better. The throttle's better. The electronic braking is better. The width is better. The placement of the rear casters is better. I mean, it's not a bad Dolly. However, having had all three of them, I'd pick one of these two. I don't want to pick a winner between these two because I actually do like both of them. I've only had this for a week. I do like both of them. I like Gary. He's 45 minutes from me. So if I ever have a problem, I feel like this would be easier to get it fixed. So I might end up just going with Jolly Dollies. But I don't hate the Rosal. I think it's a great Dolly. So good luck making your decision. But you know what? They're thousands of dollars. Like you gotta figure out what you want to spend your money on. They're not cheap. You could buy a whole trailer for less money than these Dollies are. So I think you got to make a good decision. I'm going to have more comparison videos of them. I'm going to put games on them. I'm going to put the 1,000-pound game on them. Move them around, go up the trailer, kind of show you how stable they are. Because I feel like there's not enough content about the Dollies. And I don't think you should be spending thousands and thousands of dollars and guessing on what you're going to get. So, peace out. I love my 3 purple Dollies. I'll make more videos.